Hello, everybody. This is Robin, and this is Finish It Friday. How is everybody today? I hope you are having a wonderful day. It has been a busy week for me. I've gotten a lot done, but nothing finished. All of my projects are kind of long-term things going on right now. So we're making progress, and that's good. So let's talk about what's going on right now. So let's see, what should we talk about first? Let's first talk about the Christmas stocking. So the Christmas stocking, remember last time we had a few more rows to do in the red, and then we were going to get up to the green. And, whoops, I don't want to say dropped a stitch but that's what we're doing here. Usually I put a stitch marker in there. I'm surprised I did not. But anyway, got the red finished, and I think it's looking really good. And I'm supposed to do 2 rows of green. I got 1 row done and part of that second row, and man, my hand was just screaming, so I had to stop. I really wanted to finish that second row, but I just couldn't get it done. So really 3 rows is just about all I can do on this, and then my hand has just had it, even with this stronger hook. If that hook was pointier, I could go farther, but that's just all I can do. That is just all I can do on that. But it's coming along nicely. So basically this is the toe and the first section here, the toe and the first section of that Christmas stocking. So I think that's looking really good. I like it. I like how that's coming along. And again, I've decided that this is going to be probably part of a Christmas present next year. Whoever I get in the Christmas draw, I'm going to put their Christmas present in this as part of their present. So I've got all year to get this done. So no hurry on that whatsoever. And I am working, the yarn I'm using for this is Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling Lion brand, and it is 100% acrylic, 100 grams skein, and it's got 185 yards, machine wash and dryable. Supposed to be using an H hook with it. Let's see what we're using. I don't even know if this, yep, it's an H. Interesting. Okay. So let's see if I've got the picture right here. This is the picture. So you can see how far I've gotten on that. And when they started this, they planned on, this was an 8-week-long project. Taking me a lot longer than that. But again, I had no intentions of doing this in a quick hurry. So I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. Oh, I just wish it didn't hurt my hands so much to work on that. I almost wished, it's too late to change now. I wish I would have gone up a hook size. And you know, maybe at the turn, like right here, after I get this done, when I get to this part, I could go up a hook size, and it would like make this a little wider and a little looser. I think that would probably work out okay. In fact, I'm sure it would, because I'm sure this is an afterthought heel. We're going to put this on when we're done. I'm going to do that. When I get to that part right there, when we split to this red, I'm going to go up a hook size. It's going to loosen it up. I'm going to do that. I am 100% going to do that and see if it's going to make that a little easier to work, because it's just killing my hand to do this, and that makes me sad because I'm really enjoying the process. I'm really liking the pattern, but I just can't be doing this. And if this were a project where I needed to get it done, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I can't get that paper clip back on. So that's the first thing that I'm working on. And like I said, kind of thinking I work on it about once a week, and I get about 3 rows done once a week to work on that. That's a very much fill-in type project that I'm doing right now. So that's the first thing that I worked on this week. Okay, let's talk about this blanket. You know, I was having a lot of problems last week with that darn double moss stitch. And so I went to the pattern, the website where the pattern was, and I looked at it. The picture, it doesn't have a lot of pictures. It's got one picture, and it's not a close-up picture. It's, you know, one of those stylized pictures where she's holding this great big blanket, you know. So that didn't do me very much good. And so I started reading through the instructions on the page that she had there. And I read through, I just read through the whole thing. And I finally figured out my problem. Of course, it was my problem. And I have said this time and time again in video after video. If there's a problem, if there's a mistake, it's on me. Now, I still believe that there's an error in this. Every single video I looked at, every single set of directions I looked at to get the double moss stitch, you needed a 4-row repeat, and this is 100% a 2-row repeat. I think that's an error. But the reason mine turned into a rib stitch was because, and it's a very nice rib stitch. Very nice rib stitch. Was because, well, as you know, I want my blankets bigger. And at the beginning, it said you could increase your number of stitches. But what I failed was it said somewhere you needed to increase it and it needed to be an odd number. And I didn't do that. I made it an even number. I think it said that. Anyway, it had to do with the number of stitches that I increased it to. And I think, but I don't even know why that would be a thing, because when you casted this on, it was you cast it on 82 stitches, and that is that's an even number. So I added like 6 stitches. Oh, I know what it was. It had to be divisible by 4. So it was 4 plus 2 or something like that. Well, the number of stitches I added on, I think I added 6 stitches or something like that. Well, it wasn't divisible by 4, and that's why it wasn't working out. It was turning into a rib stitch. So all I did, because I have to do it again on the other end, I figured out a fix. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And I like it. I like the way it looks. So all I did was, so on the edges, we knit 7. Well, I just knit 6. That's all I did. Just in this section here, I just knit 6 instead of 7. I threw that 1 extra stitch into part of the pattern and called it good. I have messed this thing up so bad already. Who cares? Obviously, this is just going to be for me, because this whole section is messed up now. But there you go. And I don't know how in the heck, it seems like I've mucked this up somehow right there. I didn't even notice it until I was showing you guys. Oh Lord. How did these things happen? Did I mess up that starting row? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to look. Yeah, I think that's the way it's supposed to look. Look at all that hair that's knit in. You always get some hair knitted in with my stuff. Always, always. Yeah, I think that's the way it's supposed to look. So anyway, that's what happened. the number of stitches you started with had to be divisible by 4. And when I added on some stitches to the edge to make this thing bigger, it wasn't divisible by 4, and I did not notice that in my instructions. Now remember, I started this well over a year ago, and I wasn't being as careful with stuff then as I am now. So anywho, this is what it looks like now. Getting quite, so when I picked this up, not that long ago, I was down here. When I picked this up, I was down here. I had finished this, I think. But I think it's funny. Again, I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I did the moss thing, and then we did the moss thing, and then I did a whole bunch of 42 stocking it. Now we're doing, what did we do to 62? We did 42 and then to 62, which was 64, 63, 64. It's going to be that. I should have numbered my pages. That would help, because it seems like I did a whole bunch of knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl rows. I did a whole bunch of those. Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, which is just, what is that, garter? Stockingette? And then, I can't even find that page now. Stockingette. No, we did stockingette, and then we did double moss. So then I've got a page missing, because then we did row 42 to row 40 to row 60 to row 60, which was just rows of purl and rows of knit back and forth. Because then we ended up with all of this, which is just this, knit and purl. But then we get to the next section, and it says reverse stockingette. So that's stockingette. So then the next section, it says beginning on the right side row, you do reverse stockingette, which is the same darn thing. Rows of knits and rows of purls. And so we're doing a whole bunch more rows, and it's looking exactly the same. So I don't know why we're doing that. And so we're going to do that for 20 more rows. And then we're going to work on an eyelet section. So then that's going to be some more pretty stuff. And I hope to heck that it doesn't depend on, I should go back and look at the original instructions and see if that depends on a certain breakdown. I'm going to do that before I start that section. Yeah. Oh, because it says you have to make an extra knit stitch to make 8 knit stitches on both sides. So we're going to need a specific number of stitches. I'm going to have to look at that to make sure that that's going to work out. So I might not need that extra. Ugh. I have really messed this thing up, haven't I? There's 64, and then we're going to knit, 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 and then we're going to yarn over, knit 2 together. So that's, we're going to do that eyelet. And then we're going to do another garter. I don't know. So I'm going to finish this thing. It's going to be full of mistakes, but it's going to be warm. That's for sure. But And I had talked to Miss Dana at Dana's Wanderlust Crochet, and I had talked about maybe just pulling this thing apart and reusing the yarn, because I love the yarn. I'm using Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, and I love this yarn. And I thought, you know, maybe I'm just going to pull this apart and reuse it for something else. But I do love this yarn. And this is only my second skein. Goes a long ways. It's possibly my third skein. I can't even remember now. No, I really do think it's only my second skein. 212 yards. Can't remember. It's either my second or third skein. But and I do have plenty more, because I got this on a super good sale. 20% wool, 80% acrylic, made in Turkey, machine washable and dryable. But I said, you know, I'm just going to rip this all out and start over. I'm so disgusted. I've messed this thing up so badly, blah, 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 blah. However, now I'm thinking about just finishing it. One of the reasons is this is a whip. This is a Finish It Friday whip, and I do want to finish it. But also, I'm using this for basically three things. It's a Finish It Friday whip. You know, finishing my whips from my whip list. I'm using this for the what are you working on Thursday, or whatever that's called, the hashtag. Let's see if I can find it from my videos. Not that. From the hashtag TWMT. Things we're making Thursday for February. January was slippers. February is a blanket. And I'm going to finish this in February. And also for hashtag MYC124. I don't know if it's going to change to 224. I don't quite know how that works yet. But that is for Lori, the armchair chef. That's her mystery yarn challenge. And every month, there's all these different things. But every month you trade yarn. I don't send yarn because I've got enough yarn. I send yarn to somebody, and I'm working on a whip, and this is the whip that I'm going to work on for February, and I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to get that done in February. So that ticks off 3 different things for me. So that's why it's important for me to get that done. Plus, I'm using up yarn out of my stash, which is another thing I'm trying to do. So I really do think I'm just going to keep plugging away on that. And I do like it. I don't like it. I do like it. I like it. I like the blanketness of it. It's really nice and warm. And it works up quick. It works quick. You know, anytime you're using that chunky yarn and the big needles, it flies. I can see it easily when it's darkish. I don't need good light. And that's why I kind of worked on it quite a bit this week, because a lot of the other project I was going to start, I didn't have enough light to work on it. And I'm often in an area where I don't have enough light to work on things. So that's what that is about. Okay, so that's that. And you can see I'm actually on row 47, I think. So that's where I am on that. Now, the cool thing, the thing I'm most happy and proud about, the sock. The sock! I'm making a sock. Okay, you already know the background. I went in to learn how to work on magic loop, on the needles, on the knitting needle magic loop. Didn't think I would be able to make a sock. Knitting teacher said, no problem, you can make a sock. Looky, looky. Okay, so this is the top. It's a top down. So this was my cuff. And on this one, the cuff is the same as the leg. So cuff, leg, turn to heel. I guess that's what that's called. Turn to heel. And this was called a flap and gusset. I think that's what they call that. Flap and gusset heel. And the foot, this is the top of the foot. This is the bottom of the foot. I'm just making the length now of the foot, and then right here will be a toe. I'll be doing the Kitchener. And then it's done. So there you go. There's the heel. Look, I made it. I'm making a sock. I should have this finished within the week. Hopefully by next Finish It Friday, this will be a completed sock. We're getting the light right so you can see this. Yes, yes, yes. Very happy, very, very happy. And of course, yeah, I've got that weird boo-boo thing on the inside, and I'm gonna talk to somebody about that, and hopefully when I do sock 2, that will not be a thing. Because again, I don't know how anybody could wear this with that big ridge on the inside. That would just hurt. That would hurt your foot with that big ridge there. So Mister's gonna have to wear this inside out. But he's tried it on 2 or 3 times. It fits him perfect. He likes the way the heel fits. The heel cup fits perfect. And yeah. So we are just plugging away on this. And this was a free pattern. It's called, oops, it's called something bed socks. Basic beginner bed socks. And I think it's because it's heavy. It's done on, I don't even know what it called for, but it's basically a 2x2 rib the whole time. It calls for worsted weight socks, worsted weight yarn. And I'm using, oh, I've lost my label. Comfy cotton. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I've been working on these 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. I've been working on these a while. This took a long time. If this were just stockinette, knitting, would have gone a lot quicker. But because it's rib, it's took me much longer. You know, rib all the way down took quite a while. Anyway, I love it. I'm very pleased. I'm happy with myself. I don't know about that weird ridge on the inside though. No idea what that situation is or how to fix it, or, well, I can't fix it, how to avoid it next time. That's going to be important because I know I've looked at a couple of socks that people made. I looked at a couple of socks at the yarn store that are hanging there, and they don't have that weird ridge. So I know that's not correct. I know it's not normal, and I don't know why it's there. Has something to do with the way I picked up those stitches on the edge. But I am very, very happy with the process, with how far I've gotten, with what I've learned. And I know there's lots of different kinds of heels. The fish lip seems to be one that a lot of people love, and I do want to try that one. I need to buy that pattern. I think it's like $1 or something to buy that pattern, and I absolutely will be doing that. And it's funny because people that have fallen in love with socks, that's kind of like, that's what they do. But look at this. I feel like I did a really good job. I mean, what do I know? But I feel like I did a really good job with this whole process here. I'm just really pleased with that. I don't know. I don't have that funny, because I know a lot of people end up with a funny little hole there. I did not end up with that. I'm happy. I'm happy. So, not too shabby for my very first try. I shouldn't say my first try. I have a couple of very ugly failed attempts, but getting this far, I'm very happy with how things are looking. Very happy. Okay, that's it. So next week, anticipate a finished sock should be quite a bit farther along on that. And at least a couple more rows on the Christmas stocking. I might even search around in my crochet hooks and see if I can find something that's got even a sharper tip. I have an idea. We'll see. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you'll like, I hope you will subscribe, and we will see you next week on Finish It Friday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.